Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're new to this channel, my name is Amra and this is Amra's Beauty Blog. I'm a freelance makeup artist with a passion for all things beauty. If you're a subscriber, then a welcome return. If you like this video, then please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell for weekly uploads. So you may have noticed that I already have some foundation on and some concealer. I have just done two little mini videos and I'm going to be posting them shortly of the new Laura Mercier foundation which has gone viral, and I wanted to quickly show you how I applied that through my video. I will post that on Instagram and TikTok for you. As well as that, I am also going to demonstrate the new Fenty Beauty concealer, which I have on, which you can see has a really lovely brightening effect that is on my eyes at the moment. Now, today's video is going to be the second part of the Suqqu Spring Summer 2024 collection. I had the opportunity to go to the preview event yesterday in store and I wanted to show you what I picked up, as well as some swatches that I did in store of all the shades, so you'll be able to see that. If you follow me on Instagram at Amra's Beauty Blog, you should be able to see all of the swatches already on there. But if you haven't, then please do follow me on Instagram. So I picked up the other eyeshadow palette, which I purchased myself. Two items that I got were the eyeshadow, which was 134, and this one is in the colour SAKURAUTSUSHI, which is the one that's more on the purple side. And then I purchased the Pure Colour blush, and it is in the colour 147 HARUTAYORI. And this one is the one that has sort of more of a bronzing effect on the cheek. So I've picked up the two remaining palettes. On top of that, I also picked up the two liquid luster eyes. One was in that kind of green colour, the other was that sort of more beigey, lighter shade, which actually looks much better swatched and in person. So I've got those two shades as well. One is limited edition, which is the green one, so I'll show you how that looks as well. Because I was at the Suqqu counter, which by the way has now moved temporarily because Selfridges are going through a little bit of a revamp at the moment, and so Suqqu have moved from their traditional position, which was right at the back, and they had a treatment room and everything, and unfortunately have had to move to the side now. That's a temporary position, I've been told, and they'll have another position. So it was a little bit strange going to the counter. It wasn't the kind of experience I normally have. I was able to test out all of the 10 shades that they've released for their new Moisture Glaze lipstick. I picked up 6 of the colours because they are just so beautiful and they're so different from each other that they just called to me. 3 of them didn't really work on my skin. I have the other one which I got through PR, so technically I've got 7 out of the 10. I just love the formula purely because it's so moisturising, and for this time of year it's freezing outside. I've just come back from holiday and I wish I never came back now because it has been so cold. It's picking up, the weather's getting better. I've had a cold since I've come back from holiday and it has really affected me, so I hope that you can bear with me with my voice. It's not the usual. Let's power through. I bought the 6 colours. These are all the refills, so I actually have the case already, so I didn't buy any more cases, so this will be fun to show you all of these as well. So as I mentioned in my previous video, this collection is launching on the 25th of January, so I want to get this video up before ideally the launch so that you can see which colours you'd like to pick if you have a similar skin tone to me or you just need a little bit of guidance. It's the 25th for Selfridges, and then Liberty and Harrods will get it from the 8th of February. So the first thing I wanted to show you was the eyeshadow. This is the eyeshadow quad that I picked up. It does look a little bit different in real life. I think the pictures make it look a little bit more, not purpley, but it doesn't really sort of show you how it looks. So I wanted to see if I could just show you through natural daylight. So this is what the shades look like. That's probably the best I can get for you. Beautiful. So you've got like this sort of satin shade, then like a shimmer shade, satin again, and then this kind of marbling sort of highlighter shade. So what I'm going to do is demonstrate this for you on my eye. Before I do that, I'm just going to show you a quick arm swatch for you. Okay, so we'll start off with this first shade here. Kind of a very cool sort of brown. Then we're going to try this shimmer shade. That's gorgeous. And then we're going to go into this brown shade, and already you can see that the S is disappearing, but never mind. It's more of a aesthetic thing, so all kind of quite cool toned. And then finally we're going to go into this shade here, which is this sort of highlighter shade that I mentioned. So let's take a look at this. Beautiful. So a little tip that I was told for this particular collection was to try and put some concealer on my eyelid or use one of their other liquid luster eyes. So I'm going to do both actually, because I really want this to be intense. So I'm going to take a little bit of concealer, just tap a bit on my eyelid. So I'm using the Fenty Beauty one. This is their new one, which is called We're Even, and the consistency is very creamy, so I think it feels very nice on my eyelid. I'm going to put a little bit on the other side just to prep the eyelid, because someone asked me, actually another subscriber from my previous video, and asked why didn't I put primer on the previous video. And the reason why I didn't do that was because I wanted to see how pigmented the product was. I definitely feel like for this particular collection, having a primer or having some concealer as a primer will definitely help the product to be a little bit more intense, purely because this collection is very delicate and I don't think it's meant to be really sort of pigmented. This is the one I was kindly gifted as PR, and I'm going to use this colour because it's very similar to this particular eyeshadow palette, and it is the new one in the colour 103. So I'm just going to take a little bit here, like so, and just dab it as a base on the eyelid. And I think I mentioned in my previous video that you can use this alone because it's quite pigmented actually. And if you are someone who follows me on Instagram, you would have seen I did some swatches of all 3 shades, and you'll see that it's pretty pigmented on its own. What I've done is I've just kind of based it like that so that the colour hopefully will be a little bit more intense, which is what I'm hoping for. So here we go. If you're wondering what foundation I have on, this is the viral one that everyone's going crazy for, which is the Laura Mercier Weightless Perfecting Foundation, and my colour that was colour matched in is 4N1 Ginger. So now that I've got like a bit of a base going on, I'm going to go in with the colours. I'm going to take this shade first, which is the shade here. I'm just going to use that all over the eye. Just changing my brush because I think this one picks up the product a little bit better. It feels very nice on. I think the tip with the concealer is definitely worth doing, and the liquid lust, just to give it a good base. You can see that it's quite intense. And then I'm going to take this shade, which is this gorgeous shade here, and hopefully, I don't even remember in the previous video I said that the gold one there was a bit of fallout, so by using the concealer and the liquid lust as a base, I'm hoping that there won't be any fallout on this one. It does feel a lot more creamier than the other one for some reason, so I'm just gonna put it on like so, straight over the lid like that. And looking under my eyes, I can see that there is hardly any fallout. I think maybe the formula is slightly different in the other palette because this does feel a lot more creamier. And you can just add to the eye, but it's a really pretty shade and I really love the way it looks against my skin tone. It's subtle, but it's really pretty. And then what I'm going to do is take this brown and I'm just going to blend it in the brow area, because it's more of a kind of colour that's... It's a sort of satin shade, but quite cool. So I thought if I just put it in the socket and let it blend with the other shade, I think that will work. And I like this so much that I think I might even put a little bit lower. So I'm going to take a smaller brush. I'm going to use that brown, that dark brown here, and I'm going to just take it down to the lower part of my eyes. Same with the other side. And then just take a little bit above as well, just to give it a little bit of depth. Almost use it like a liner. What I'm going to do is take this marble colour, which is this highlighter type shade, and I'm going to take the Suqqu brush and just tap into that colour, and then I'm just going to put that on the inner corner of the eyes. You know, you always wonder what you're going to do with this Suqqu applicator. This is perfect for getting into the inner corner. Just using the tip, using that sort of smaller side works really well. It's really, really pretty. A little bit on the brow bone there. Brow bone there. Any excess, just take a little bit onto the tip of the nose. You can see what I was trying to do. And then a little bit on the Cupid's bow. Just to give some highlight to the face. Perfect. And then what I'm going to do now is just go off camera. I'm going to add some mascara and some liner, and I will be back. Okay, so I've just gone away and I've added some mascara, some brown liner, just to soften the look, mascara and some brow. And now I'm going to show you the Pure Colour blush that I picked up. So this is the other one that was also limited edition, 147 HARUTAYORI. And this one is leaning towards a kind of bronzy look. Let me show you how it looks. Now, I love this colour combination. This is how it looks up close, but can you see how you've got the orange with the pink? I mean, that is just so pretty. I'll quickly swatch this for you and then we'll put it on. Let's just swatch this side first and then we'll swatch the other. So we'll start off with this orangey side. So that's the first shade, which you can see is quite similar to my own skin colour right now because I'm so tanned. Then we have this sort of highlighter shade, which is this kind of pinky shade, which I'll just show you on my arm again. So this is the pinky shade there. Now, before I do this, I am under no illusion that this may not look very impactful because currently I am quite tanned from my holiday. When I have lost my tan, I think this will probably show better, but I just wanted to kind of just quickly show you what you can achieve. So what I'm going to do is actually mix these two together. Normally I do one and then do another separately, but I think because I'm so tanned, I don't think it's going to make much of a difference. So I'm going to do that and just mix the two shades. And then we're just going to put it on. So you can see that there is definitely a colour coming through, but it's more like a kind of glow. The essay that I was talking to said that it reminds her of Hourglass and the ambient powders, the ambient lighting powders, and I think I agree with her. I think it gives that kind of ambient glow from within. So I think if you're looking for something like this, then this is going to be what this product does. So I'm just going to put it on both sides. It's really nice. Perfect. Okay, so I have on the eyeshadow, the blush, and what does that leave? Well, it leaves the 6 colours that I've picked up from the collection. Now, I wanted to show you each of them, so what I'm going to do now is quickly put them on for you and show you how they look. So before I put the lips on, I just wanted to tell you what the description was. A brand new lipstick is joining the core collection this year that glazes the lips with a richy glossy colour, creating a plump and fuller lip that has a blurring effect on vertical fine lines. The rich balm texture that gradually melts, the oil-rich formula softly fades whilst leaving behind the protective properties of a balm. Rich glowing colour that applies evenly. The nature-derived spherical powder particles allow the formula to gently melt for easier application and a longer lasting finish. Softly opaque finish, ranging from bright to deep, each shade is designed to give an exquisite translucent finish and wash of colour. Long-lasting hydration, formulated with high nourishing squalane and sodium hyaluronate for long-lasting hydration. Refillable packaging, the first Suqqu lipstick in a refillable tube, featuring all of the luxurious qualities you know from Suqqu, but now you can refill your favourite shades over and over. So as I mentioned, there are 10 shades, but I've picked up 6 of them. The ones I picked up starts off with this one, which is 02, and it's called Hakanazaki, and it's a fresh pink with a touch of sweetness. So we'll start off with 02. So this is what it looks like. It comes in 3.7 grams and it's a refill. So it's in this kind of tube like I mentioned in my previous video, and I'm just going to put it into the lipstick case now. So I'm just going to show you what the refill in the case looks like and how you put it in. The line is meant to line up with the line that's on the side, so let's just do that now, and it clicks in and I pull the top off and now it's in place. So that's how it looks. Goes in like this, and then when you want to remove it, you pull it out. That's it. So this is shade number 2, which is that pinky shade. So let me show you how it looks. Gorgeous. Okay, so here's 02. Now I've gone a few times with it because I wanted to make sure you saw the impact of the colour, but also because I like my lips to feel quite moisturised, and at the moment they feel a little bit sort of chapped because we are using a lot of the central heating, which makes your lips quite cracked. So I'm just pursing my lips together, but you can see how beautiful this shade is, and it's leaning towards a sort of pinkier colour. Might not necessarily match my eyes, but I really, really love this. So this is 02. Feels really moisturising. So we're now moving on to number 3, which is what I picked up. And this one is more like a corally colour, and it goes by the name of Koitsumugi. I think this colour's great for when you're tanned, which is what I am now. And I think it's a gorgeous shade. So this is the number 3 colour. Okay, so let's try number 3. This is really pretty, number 3. That sort of coral colour. Okay, so now we're going to look at number 4. And number 4 is really interesting because there are 2 in this collection that look quite similar. This is number 4, and as I go down you'll know there's another colour that's a little bit deeper than this shade, but the reason why I picked this was because it's slightly lighter and a bit more wearable during the day, I suppose, and having an evening one is really nice. So they are kind of from the same family. This one is in Suqa, and it's that kind of orangey shade. It's a gorgeous colour. It's the Suqqu colour, I'd probably call it. It's the one you associate with Suqqu in terms of the shade. Okay, so let's try this one on together. This is number 4. So we're now moving on to the number 7. This one is in the colour Irokasashi. So this is the close-up. Okay, so let's try 7. Oh, this is pretty. I'll try and put some descriptions below as to how they describe these colours, but this one is really, really nice. This is number 7. Okay, so now we're going to look at the number 8 shade. This was the one that I said we had the lighter kind of orange. This is the darker orange. So I wasn't sure between the two, but I thought get this one as well because it was a little bit more deeper. And this one is in 08. It goes by the name of Como Bikari. That's what it looks like. So like a deeper orange. Okay, so let's try this one on together. Definitely feels more sort of deeper, more pigmented than the number 3. More like a deeper version of the number 3, but I do like this one too, so you can see why I picked them up, both of them. So this is 08. So finally we move on to the last shade that I picked up. This is 10, and there were different variants of browns, and some browns make me look quite grey, and this had something in it that kind of made my skin look better. It had that kind of reddish tone to it. This one was called HIKARIKANADE. I'm going to show you what it looks like. Such a gorgeous shade. So let's put this one on the final shade on together. This is so pretty. This is shade number 10. So here are the arm swatches of all the shades. This is 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8 and 10. So these are the shades that I picked up. And I'm just going to show you the last 2 pieces from the collection. This is the 06 shade, and it is a permanent shade, and it's their liquid luster eyes, HIKARIKANADE, and I'm going to show you what it looks like on the eye. So what I've done is I've removed the colour that I was using before because I wanted you to see it fresh. I've also put on some concealer on my eye as a primer so you can see how the colour looks. This is the shade. So let me show you the shade on my hand so you can see that it's very nice. Okay, so I'm going to put that on to my eye using the doe foot that's pretty generous. I'm going to dip in again. And I'm just going to take the product, just kind of show you what it looks like on this side. You can see it's kind of like giving a nice base, and then I'm just going to use my finger to just disperse the product. There are small particles of glitter in this one, I think, because it's a little bit glittery, but you can see that it just creates a really lovely base, and you can use that on its own, or you can take another shade or another eyeshadow and put that on top. So I just wanted to show you how it looks on this side. So on my skin tone, it kind of really blends into my skin tone. So we're now going to go into the other shade. I thought I'd show you on the other eye. So this is the green one. This is the limited edition shade. So this is the colour 104 FUUKOU. So I will show you what that looks like. So I will swatch that for you next to the other shade. You can see it's definitely more pigmented. I mean, you can even use them together and use that more like a highlighter. It does work that way as well. So what I thought I'd do was to take the green shade and I'm just going to put it straight on to my eye. That's a lovely green, and I'm just going to pat it with my ring finger, and you can see how pretty that shade is. So I'm just going to try and intensify it with another layer. You can see how much more intense that is, and it dries well. Doesn't seem to have as much glitter in this one, and there's a slight shift a little bit as you move from like kind of green to gold. It's quite pretty actually. What I'm going to do is balance the other eye and do the same with this on top, and then I'm going to use the lighter shade that we just looked at and just put it on the inner corner, and then I'll give you my final thoughts on the entire collection. So this is the finished look. I had the coral lipstick on, so coincidentally the green and the coral work really well together. But I just wanted to give you my final thoughts on this collection. I think the star of the show is most definitely the Moisture Glaze lipsticks, because they are a new formula. They feel fantastic. I think for this time of year, the fact that we are, well, for the UK in the winter season, it's really amazing for the lips because it's very moisturising. It brings us into the spring. The colours are light. I love the inspiration behind each of the colours. I think the blushes are very nice. I like the one that I reviewed previously because it showed a little bit more on me, but this one offers that kind of warmth, which I really like as well. I think that out of the two eyeshadow quads, I prefer this one over the one that I reviewed in my previous video because of my skin tone. I think that this is more complementary to my skin tone. However, I did have fun with the cool tone of the other palette. So yeah, I think that would be my favourite. So in terms of the liquid luster eyes, I would say the green is really pretty as well as that purple one. I think the lighter shade is probably going to be better for fairer skin tones, or if you want to use it like I have as a kind of highlighter, I think it works amazingly well. So all in all, I think that this collection is definitely one that you might want to try. I don't think you'll miss out as much on the eyeshadows because I think in the past Suqqu have done more sort of striking eyeshadows, but if you like the subtlety of this collection and what it represents in terms of the inspiration, then I think that you would be good to pick up one of the shadows. I would personally pick the one I mentioned, but go with your skin tone. If you're a cooler skin tone, then maybe the bluer palette might be better for you, or the turquoise palette. The best thing to try out would be the Moisture Glaze lipsticks because they are so beautiful. There's so many shades and you'll find one that suits you. One of the things I just wanted to add was when I went into store, even though I swatched them, they appeared differently for different people because of the pigmentation on your lips. Now, it's really hard, especially if you don't buy in store and you buy it online. Hence the reason why I do these videos, so that it can give you an idea of if you're a similar skin tone or if your lips are pigmented like mine, how the colour may change. I would be aware of that because not all the colours are going to suit everyone. I had to go in and, like I said, I did skip 3 of the colours because I felt like they didn't really do much for me. So if you do get an opportunity to go in store, I would suggest you go in store and try the Moisture Glaze lipsticks yourself before you purchase. But if you can't do that, then I hope this video will help you to decide which ones to pick up. Thank you so much for watching. I know it's a bit of a longer video, but there was a lot to go through. My apologies if I sound like I've still got a cold. I still do, but I wanted to get this video out. So I hope you've enjoyed it. Please let me know your thoughts. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, and I will see you in my next video. Thank you.